Hi, officer.
Factory balanced. Bakelite and stainless steel.
Anything I can help you with?
As always, I'm the Lawbringer.
You've graduated to Lawbringer now?
Men with authority have their quirks. Comes with never being second-guessed about anything. So what brings you here, Lawbringer?
That depends. Where are we exactly?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
I have questions. The first is, what's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts. Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Nice sword. Does it come with a story?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
Hold on. Do you know how to use it?
Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot.
But not when you're in a tight spot.
It is imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Why do you need intimidation tactics?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Figures. Typical patriarchal nonsense. Masculine venomosity.
Sure. Venomosity. But boys will be boys, and God knows we don't have many around. So far, the sword has been enough to keep them in line.
Why don't more women arm themselves if it's so effective?
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
That does not go for real men. It does not go for you. Show her. Show her the wonder. Coach means the expression.
Behold!
Not bad.
Do you like it?
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast.
Can I borrow that sword?
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave.
She refuses, but your word is the law. You are law. She's making a joke. Her voice softens. Is she flirting with you? A little? You think she might be.
So where are all the men now?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Wait, why? If they're thick-headed...
Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Where's your husband now?
Gone.
The harbor seawall endures the wash of the freezing waves. Many things wash up against it and onto the beaches of Rivershot. Some inanimate, some just no longer alive. You shudder.
He disappeared? Sounds like a missing persons case.
It absolutely does not. We are not going to look for him.
No. There's nothing to find. He's dead. Lost to the waves.
He died? Was he murdered?
The lieutenant shakes his head again.
Yeah. By himself. Inadvertently. He never respected the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day, he didn't come back. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Yeah, death is nothing. I shit on death.
I don't. But us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
I'm looking for someone. Maybe you can help.
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for missing cryptozoologists.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
People who look for animals mainstream scientists deny exist.
Aha! Like snowmen.
Snowmen? I haven't heard about those.
2 old guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
Wait, the like?
Right. Not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men burning rhinos. You get the picture.
Oh, you're getting it. And it is gorgeous.
Where did they go?
I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
That's it. I'm not looking for anyone else right now.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
Is that your boat?
Sure is. The Sun, I call her. Coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
Sunny days?
Aye. Sunny days. You got a problem with that?
No, ma'am. We have no quarrel with sunny days.
Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids.
There's a moment's silence. She looks at the rain streaming down the yellow belly of the boat.
When do you think the boat will be ready?
In time, when the sea turns and the winds settle, she will be ready.
Waves wash the sand. A skiff moves across the mirror-smooth sea, far away from here. A lone passenger, a fast sloop in the distance, white sails. My prediction, it will be at least 2 days.
Be seeing you.
You hold in your hand the colorful primer. The title reads, A Primer for Small Kids. There's a bear involved.
Exactly what I need.
This book will show you the score. Get you oriented with those basic concepts you appear to be hazy on. The anthropomorphic bear will give you the lowdown of your life.
On what?
The alphabet. Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet with a faded illustration. Most of them are scientific and cultural principles. It goes as follows.
Let's do this.
A is for azimuth. B is for Boreas. C is for cosine. D is for diamite. E is for ellipse. F is for phlogiston. G is for gamete. H is for homeboy. I is for econ. J is for Ura. K is for collapse. L is for laudanum. M is for myriad. N is for nadir. O is for aureole. P is for perihelion.
Yeah.
Q is for quasar. R is for rhododendron. S is for sinus. T is for tricolor. U is for ultra. V is for vector. W is for Wahrheit. X is for xylophone. Y is for Ustava. Z is for zenith.
That's it.
That's it. You know the alphabet now.
Kim, I know the alphabet now.
Good. I also know the alphabet.
It is a very useful skill to have, he thinks, for all sorts of life activities like reading and... The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
You guys look identical.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
Yeah, I said that.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt. The rock kicker was just being shy, but now he's enthusiastic again.
You're bad with kids.
And what are you, Killmaster General?
Maybe I am. Now, how about some actual police work? We are not getting anything here.
You must be Liliane's twins.
This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker.
Lily's our mum.
I already said that.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too large for his shoulders. The other one laughs as well. Maybe there's some kind of reason why they're laughing. An interesting reason, somehow tied to the case.
What are you laughing about?
The boy stops laughing and looks at his toes. Oh, okay. So now he's shy. Now he's not talking, just wobbling around like he's afraid of something. You will never get an answer. That's how it is with these little idiots.
Children are stupid.
You're stupid.
Okay, how about the policeman ask you something else now?
Okay.
Bye, kids. Take care.
You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the apricot suzerainty.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Then how does she know you're here?
If you can't see it, then how did you know I was here?
I still have a golden ear. Come, come. Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Trouble? Say the second thing, Bratan. Shows you got style.
We're cops. We're hellraisers. Click, click, bang, bang.
No, you're not. I've seen you around here before. 12 years ago. You didn't raise any hell. You were quite helpful, actually. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
Wait, I've been here before?
No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another, locked himself in that woodshed over there. He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place, somewhere more quiet.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
What kind of a new omen are we talking about?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
I am a new omen, alright.
You're not. No one around here considers us an ill omen. People would have told us.
Maybe they are afraid.
Why?
Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone. Searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Tell me about yourself. Who exactly are you here?
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie.
No one? There's something about her. She's definitely not a no one.
Now it's your turn, Mr.
Lieutenant W. Freighter Harrier Dubois.
Quite a handle you got there. So many titles. One of them double.
She's got a couple of ranks herself. Honored chief and so on.
Where could someone stay around here?
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack.
How much is it?
I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
There's this guy, Gart, who makes me give him money every night just so I don't die out in the cold.
That's exactly how they get ya. That's why we built our own cinder block houses on the seaside. So we don't have to give money to those crooks. We might not look like much, but they are ours.
Wait, why isn't anyone using the room?
My kids grew up and left like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm.
It's not that she misses the kids. They've been gone too long for that. But deep down, the old woman is incurably lonely.
One more time. I can just have the room?
Aye. The room is pretty bare bones, but it's got a bed and roof over it. That's more than some folks have around here.
When Varson communist revolutionary Ignace Nielsen was in hiding, he stayed in a hut on the Boreal Plateau for 10 months.
This could be the first chapter of my rags to riches memoir.
Surely not the first one. So are you interested or not?
You got yourself a tenant.
Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room. Should he? This environment encourages one thing, and one thing only. Drinking. Yum yum. It's not a shack, nor a room, nor a lodging. It's a spiral staircase disappearing into bliss. Empty bottles on the floor. Maybe some baggies.
Finally, you have those lamos of matinees off your back, Bratan. This looks like a great place to bring chicks.
What's further down the coast?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even.
Why is it abandoned?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
I get the feeling you're leaving stuff out. What else is going on?
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. Huh. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting even through the night. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that.
Interesting. You could look into this ruckus if you have the time. Perhaps the mysterious music is somehow connected to the case. A Rusalka or a half-demonic Apsara singing.
What else is down the coast?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
Which is it then? Apartments or electrical plant?
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara.
Anything else of note?
Of note? The old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed.
Would you want to come to a fish market here?
No one. That's why it's closed. It was once a bustling place, back when I was young, and so was everyone else. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else.
That's it? There's got to be more along the coast.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible.
Nothing is impossible, surely.
And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
Goodbye, I'm off.
Tremble. The time is now. Ta'ola.
What time?
Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream.
Ta'ola? What's that?
Ulogu Theodos, Xeno Zausin, Ipoli Osithien, Echondes Fronisin.
Wait. When did this countdown begin?
Monday morning, the moment you arrived in this reality, are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread.
This is because of the insane world ending I've been saying, isn't it?
Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. all will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself.
Am I sure it's not just a joke or some kind of coping mechanism?
It's totally also a coping mechanism.
I'm a little afraid.
So you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet, and in the far plain, Palindropos. Perhaps, just a thought, this has something to do with the hangover.
I do think the world might end soon.
The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become vapor. You stop mid-step and put your hand on a garish necktie.
That bottle, Bratan! Just look at that bottle!
Where? Bottle? What?
In this drunk's hand, on the pipe there, glowing blue, a mysterious, otherworldly blue, filled to the brim with holy mysteries. It's hard to know what exactly your vivid interior is speaking of here, but I'm guessing it's got a lot of alcohol in it.
Okay. Cool. What do I do next?
Oh, I think this is about so much more than cool. Please go talk to him. See what it's about. I'm drawn to it.
Hey, Tequila! Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you? So what's happening?
Wait. Tequila?
Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street gang. Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
I like this guy. You should too. He respects you by calling you your true name.
I have re-entered reality to conquer it, to bend it to my will. I'm the law.
That's the spirit. I used to shape reality into my image, a long time ago. Those days are over now. Sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom Spiral Land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of drunks. Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last.
What do you guys do around here?
We are saving the world.
Please. Please don't go. Don't go.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me.
What is it? Tequila Sunset? You keep saying it.
It's you. You're Tequila Sunset.
How do you know this?
We've met before. Don't you remember?
No, you sure don't.
No.
Aha. Do you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be?
Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
For some reason, the name Tequila fills me with foreboding. Maybe I shouldn't learn what it means.
You think you feel bad now, Wait till you've heard the story.
No, no. You need the wisdom.
Go ahead.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my cords. Tequila sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday, and by tequila sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth.
Wait, did we meet on Friday?
Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
It is. Oh yeah, that's totally your style. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
Oh yeah, not the first time this comes up.
Hey man, I'm not judging. This life's a valley of woes. Some of the highest concept people in history have killed themselves. And been drunks. Either way, it was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, got our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling.
Oh, yes you do, Bratushka! The only thing better than that is putting the pedal to the metal after you kiss the tie. And off we go!
One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Naturally.
Anyway, there was a brief silence. A gasp of silence, if you will. Followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic.
3 men are standing on a wooden platform extending out from the shore of a dilapidated fishing village. Their cheeks red, spirits high, beers in hand, eyes glazed over.
What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs. The time hath come! So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for tequila sunset, the end of all things."
Every word I said was true. Tequila sunset will break the looms of reality.
Yeah, looms. Why not? Then you jammed the pedal and plowed right off the jetty and through the ice.
The muscles in your right leg tense up. Your hands cramp on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep.
In this way, you and your motor carriage have a lot in common.
Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to.
What else was there to do? Thank you, brothers, for your helping hand.
We asked about the whole tequila sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now, and insisted that we all call you that from then on.
Tequila sunset, huh? Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
How long did we party for?
Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
Did I tell you anything specific about this person that fucked me?
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
Please, don't open that door.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail!
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
Did I mention losing anything else?
Beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one.
Did I say anything about my colleagues?
You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style.
It's more like you were cramping theirs.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show.
Did I say anything about the case?
Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop.
Did we talk about politics?
Yeah, you seemed really mad about immigrants for some reason. I'd rather not get into the details. It was pretty low concept.
Did you get a read on what kind of cop I was?
You kept calling yourself a goddamn superstar who'd cleared 501 cases.
As you've already determined, the actual number is 216. But what's a little embellishment between friends?
No thanks to the squares at the precinct, as you put it.
I don't need to hear anymore.
It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
You seem like you're characterized by your storytelling ability. Wanna tell me another one sometime?
Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum.
Yes. Wanna tell me how you became Idiot Doom Spiral?
It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
The gleam in his eyes and the slouch in his posture is so incredibly familiar. You might get scammed here.
You want booze, don't you?
I don't want it, man. I need it. Can't tell stories without it. Dry stories are boring, see? So, have you got anything for good old Idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me.
I don't have any on me right now.
Then I will see you again once you've procured some. Par exemple, my good friend Rosemary here sells all kinds of stuff.
All kinds, sir. Beer and wine.
Be seeing you.
You too, Tequila Sunset.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man is strong and familiar.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail!
I'm the law.
You really don't have to. Besides, he won't understand you anyway.
Abigail. Oh, Abigail.
Who is Abigail?
Uh-huh. Abigail. Don't you fucking call Abigail.
Abigail is his wife or girlfriend. Chances are she's gone. Calling her wouldn't make it any better or worse. You're not going to get anything out of this guy. He's too drunk. Never thought you'd see such a thing in your life. But this guy's a little too drunk.
Who are you? What's your name?
Don't call Abigail.
Where am I? What is this place?
The man hiccups, then mumbles something unintelligible.
Why shouldn't I call Abigail?
He snorts and beckons you to lean in closer.
Don't call Abigail. Don't call Abigail.
Hey, I'm on an important official investigation. I demand you answer my questions.
There's no use in yelling at drunks. He's barely holding it together.
The drunk man starts coughing a really disgusting, hacking cough. He does not sound well at all.
Tell me about your friends.
Don't you fucking call her. Hear me? Abigail? Don't call.
There was little chance he'd be a reliable witness anyway.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy?
What are you talking about?
So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine.
See? There it is, Bratushka! The spirit! Let's buy the spirit! 300 real is a lot, but this has to be done! It's our end game!
This is the mystery and the truth, and I need to buy that spirit.
Exactly! This is no ordinary drink! It's what our relationship has been building towards all these years! This is the climax, the mystery, the virginal sigh! That drink is special! You have to buy it from him! Get it off him! Kill him if you have to! Our ultimate fate depends on it, and the fate of many worlds.
The lieutenant looks at you, looking at the bottle of spirits, then at Rosemary, suspiciously. He knows something is going on in your head.
Why does the bottle of spirit cost 300 real?
See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture.
No, I can buy spirits for 300 real. That's crazy.
You know what's crazy, actually?
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What is?
What?
Keep him talking.
What do you mean, what? What did you think was crazy earlier?
This guy.
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
Where did you get the bottle of spirits from?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. Got it from the doctor's office.
He ain't shitting you! Medicinal spirits are a blast, Bratan! The flaming truth of this joke of a world!
I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink. Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go.
That's a good tip. I should remember it.
It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, the real thing. Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. but I came out on top after all.
Have they no shame taking money for a service they provide?
But the idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead things. Swipe 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila! What's left is this beautiful blue stuff. 98.7% almost pure alcohol.
Snakes or intestinal worms?
2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it.
Don't say it.
Can I smell it first?
Yeah, be careful. It's extremely flammable. One spark and the entire city of Revachol is wiped off the map. Feels like someone's trying to jam an angry hedgehog down your nostrils, doesn't it, buddy boy? Wait for the adrenaline tsunami. It's really great.
He's exaggerating. It bites, but only a little.
Did I not tell you, Breton? This is it! This is our party drink! This is what we're having, baby! Please get it for me!
So, what's the deal, friend? Want the spirits or not?
I think it will prove useful. Yes.
3 real and it's yours, friend. The deal of a lifetime.
Well done. You got it. That's a much more reasonable price right there. Makes sense now.
Amphetamine?
Hi, by amphetamine I mean speed.
I thought by speed you meant amphetamine.
Hi, it's what I said.
Right. Got it.
Good, my man. Now what can I offer you?
Quite the business venture you set up here.
Oh, the system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I'm milking her like a bitch goat in the backyard.
What do you mean?
You see, friend, man makes his own luck, and I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of liquor exquise, sold 2 to the fellows around here, and immediately invested the profit. Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now, I've got everyone on my hook.
The hook. Where is it? I can't see it.
I'm already hooking for Kuno, I think.
Seriously? Are you?
He said I'm his pick hooker or something. Whatever that is.
Fine.
There's Rio. 50 in his palm. And the lieutenant is annoyed.
Here's the money for the spirits.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend.
Breton, I am so proud! Now, whatever you do, don't drink it! This deserves so much more than just regular oral consumption!
The tie is so on the money there. Up the bum it goes.
Huh?
Just wait for my sign. Keep it with you. Keep it warm. Keep it safe. Soon we will enter the other world.
Soon. The time will come soon. Have patience, brave one. I'm getting a really dark vibe from this. This won't be pretty.
Here's the money for a Pilsner.
Bottoms up, Captain.
I'm off.
In the civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friend. But come back anyway.
Tequila Sunset.
I bought you some booze. Will you tell me about your name now?
Of course. Drink first, story later.
Here, I've got a potent Pilsner.
Not much, but it will do.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm.
Go on.
I used the profits from my agency to finance what I call a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane.
Wait, how many people did you have working for you?
22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about them often kept me up well into the morning hours.
Did the jogging help?
It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit.
What happened?
One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
He's right. It's incredibly annoying. His eyes are clouded. His dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see? At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly.
How wet are we talking exactly?
It was a day not unlike this one here. I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
Ouch.
Ouch indeed. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key.
You've got to be shitting me.
I wish I were, Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office.
Okay, so what happened next?
I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this.
He pinches his thigh as if to check whether this reality is the reality.
So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
I've only been a hobo cop for a few days now, but it doesn't seem so bad.
The hobo lifestyle definitely has some perks. Not having to pay rent, first and foremost. Not being responsible for 20 other people is nice, too. But that charm wears off pretty quickly. Before you know it, you're wearing a shit-stained tracksuit and spending your days picking tear.
Why do you keep losing all your stuff?
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece lycra tracksuit? I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass, but somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks.
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
What was the name of your agency?
My agency. Now. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the lowest forms of marketing. The color red, breasts, and oil painting. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Rebishal who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then it all went to shit.
Sounds intriguing. What say you, Art Cop? If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
The female isn't yours to objectify, not in art, nor anywhere else.
That's rich coming from you, Tequila. You had some pretty wild views about women last weekend.
I don't know where he picked up these views, but wherever it was, he seems to be sincere about them.
Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that mixing art and sex can make you fucking rich. Just don't go on a jog, unleashing a cascade of doom that washes it all away.
What's up with the tracksuit?
What? You've never seen 100% lycra before? Go on, feel that primo material.
You really shouldn't touch it.
Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last of its kind. Should probably be in a museum, honestly.
Randomized trials have also found lycra, TM, to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. So you also have that to look forward to. And then there's the smell. But you don't even want to think about that.
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them anytime.
What about the other drunks?
My fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics? They're exactly what they look like.
Hey, Tequila! You want to buy some speed?
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a cop, remember?
I thought he was a cool cop.
A gurgling sound comes from the direction of the non-responsive man.
And yeah, you're already acquainted with abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together.
Was this about a lost jacket?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila?
Wait, you're asking a police officer to help find a jacket you stole and then lost?
Yeah, exactly. You're here to serve, right?
Okay, sure. Where'd you lose it?
If I knew where I lost it, don't you think I'd have it? I mean, maybe I was up by the boardwalk, or walking along the beach, or checking out the abandoned fish market.
That's a lot of places.
Somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it.
Let me ask you something else.
I'm all ears, Tequila.
I'll be seeing you.